What is up, you guys? Marty McFly coming at you, bringing you guys the merch. Welcome back to the Headbangers Ballroom. Today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a heavy metal unboxing for you guys. I've been waiting around for this record for quite a while. The full length actually came out a couple weeks ago, but now we finally have the package and the deluxe edition and the vinyl here in the house. Really excited to have this finally. I've been listening to it since the day it came out. This, of course, this band needs no introduction. This is Demon Hunter. They've been around for a long time. I know for me, my Outbreak album for them was 2004 when they came out with Summer of Darkness. That was the first album I ever bought from them. First time I ever heard them was Infected off of a MTV Headbangers Ball CD sampler. And that, of course, was Infected off the self-titled album, their very first record. And then I ended up buying Summer of Darkness when it came out in 04 at a local Best Buy back in the day when we actually used to have CDs at Best Buy. So, again, I'm really excited to have this in the mail. This is their last full length. The one that came out before that was War and Peace, which was a double record, a bunch of songs, both sides of War and Peace. You have your really melodic and softer songs. You have a lot of your heavy, angry stuff, too. And this is a really nice mix of these. This also comes with several guest vocalists. So, including on this, people who know Demon Hunter know that they love to have their guest vocalists. And it's not on every record, but they pull in the best of the best. For example, when I listened to Summer of Darkness for the first time, you have Howard Jones, you have Mike Williams, you have Brock Lindau, you have Trevor McNevin. So a lot of these guys, you're talking about a lot of the Christian label bands. You're talking about, Howard Jones, of course, from Killswitch Engage. You're talking about Mike Williams from the Agony scene. You're talking about Trevor McNevin from Thousand Foot Crutch. And you're talking about Brock Lindau from 36 Crazy Fists. So big label, big name bands doing guest vocalists, and this album is no different. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and break up the first one. Got to break this up. Alright, so this, of course, is the deluxe edition of Exile. Comes in beautiful packaging. And something that they said they're going to start doing with this record especially is they came out with their own comic book series written by Ryan Clark, their lead singer. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up for you guys. We do have a lot of tracks on here, as well as bonus tracks as well. The very first track, of course, is Defense Mechanism featuring Max Cavalera. Number 2 is Master. The next we have Silence the World featuring Tom S. England of Evergrey. To me, that's one of the greatest collaborations in heavy metal history. Just hearing these two guys singing together, absolutely fantastic. Now, they developed this into parts 1 through 5. So part 1 is, of course, the first 3 we just mentioned. Part 2 is called The Journey Begins, and that includes Heaven Don't Cry, Another Place, Freedom is Dead. Part 3, The Lighting Pathfinder, includes Praise the Void, which if you're not familiar with that song, that was actually just released about a year ago. They did this live and remixed versions of a bunch of songs, kind of like a lower tone, a lot more focus on acoustics and clean vocals. Well, Praise the Void was the first time I've heard that song, and now they put it into a full-blown song onto this record. Revolutions, Chemicals, that makes up the rest of Part 3. Part 4, The Drone, Godless, featuring Richie Faulkner. Devotion, that's the end of Part 4. Part 5, Against the Wind, and that includes the songs Along the Way, Sleepwalker, and Exile. And they're calling Part 6, Welcome to Exile. So this is our nice packaging with a nice sheen and metallic cover, and then very nice artwork on the back. So let's see what our deluxe edition includes. So, of course, here we go. This is part 1, Freedom is Dead, the newest comic book series. I can't wait to sit down and read this graphic novel comic book series. Overall, the pictures, the quality, the paper is really nice. Can't wait to actually sink my teeth into this. Now we have a little bit of vanilla envelope with our Exile covering. So we were told that there's some artwork and some posters in here as well. Looks like this is our artwork, custom designed by Ryan Clark. And it looks like this is our poster. And here we have 2 different versions of our Demon Hunter skull. So this is actually the main cover for the record itself. And then here we have a black on white, a little bit of gray outlay with our skull, and of course the bullet head going through the middle. And a little bit harder to see, but you can kind of see where the bullet's going through the center of that one as well. So a beautiful poster. I'd love to get this framed. I've been listening to this band for a long time. I think the only thing that would make it better is if I actually if they ever did a vinyl repress of Summer of Darkness and I could really blow up the Summer of Darkness cover. I love the Summer of Darkness cover, if you know it. It's our typical skull with the bullet going through it, but it's covered by roses. It's a black and white cover. I would love to have that blown up as a big poster, or maybe even a vinyl record one day. Hint, hint. So, of course, we have our CD. This comes with all of our tracks. Now, the Deluxe Edition does include bonus tracks, so it's a little bit longer than what you're going to find on Spotify and Amazon Music and all of those. So, on the back of this, it actually says "Black the Hell Out." And that makes up our Nilla envelope. Now, here is something that Demon Hunter really likes to include in their records. So, of course, we have the band on the back, EXILE, and our cover on the front. Now, something that they like to do is Ryan Clark will do his songs. He always gives us a little bit of an introduction, and he'll give us like a typed or written talk about the album itself, the writing process, his feelings, maybe his feelings towards the world. And now we have journal entries, we have scenes where they're talking about the comic book, and then, of course, personal notes from him, as well as the lyrics. Ryan Clark always does an amazing job with all of these. If you go back to War and Peace and even the albums before that, some of the things that they've been adding is he'll actually have handwritten notes with even cross-outs and things like that on his records. And I really feel like they add a nice texture, a nice tale to like what you're listening to, why you're listening to it, and how his feelings were when he was writing it himself. So his liner notes are fantastic, where he just talks about the songs, his feelings, how they relate to maybe even modern day Christianity, or his feelings towards, the world right now. And it's actually pretty cool because, I was listening to an interview with him just recently, and his background. So if he talks about his dad is a pastor, but theirs was a little bit more archaic. So he grew up in California, and if you listen to talk about his pastor was like for guys like that were ex-convicts, and like they also had bikers, things like that. So his introduction to that kind of life is totally different as far as Christianity goes. And I think he has a really good and unique opinion to approach with, especially modern day Christianity. And say what you want, Christian metal, I still love it. I'm Catholic. I go to mass every Sunday, and I love my heavy metal. I love all aspects of metal, regardless. But it is really cool to see someone who shares the same faith bring that into their music and see something that that we can identify with. And they do have done cover songs in the past. They've done "Break Your Fingers, Break Your Neck," "Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck." My apologies, "Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck." They've done songs like that in the past, which aren't strictly related to that. But it is cool to see someone who shares the same faith and bring about how they feel and how their feelings about the world. And I think it adds a nice texture to the music experience, and it makes it really enjoyable for me. I know it's not for everybody, but I love it. Love this band. Listened to them for a long time. They'll always have my support and all my money. They're all around great guys. I wish they toured more, and I know everyone says the same thing because Demon Hunter actually just went on a big tour, and they came to Florida, and unfortunately, I had to work. It's just the way it goes. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But they did do Furnace Fest this year, which of course I missed as well because I was working. And then of course they played in Pensacola, Florida, which is pretty tough to get to when you live this far down south in Florida. But I'm hoping I get to see them live again. The last time and first time I saw them was going back to 2007, which was when they did their... Oh man, this is going back before World is a Thorn. So Storm the Gates of Hell tour. So I think they came to Florida. They played at the House of Blues. I think this was 2007 when they did the Storm the Gates of Hell tour. They came out with Oh Sleeper. They came out with Living Sacrifice. Both bands were incredible. My first Wall of Death was with Oh Sleeper live. Living Sacrifice was there, and I think there's two other bands. I want to say Advent was there, and the other one, which currently escapes me, my apologies. But yeah, it was Advent, one more band, and actually I think the opening band didn't even get to play because I think part of their bus broke down. So anyway, I got the other part opened up for you guys while I was talking and rambling. And of course, EXILE on vinyl. It even comes with a nice little RBI strip right here, which is pretty cool. I love the way that they did the cover, the color schemes, everything on here. A little bit more of an old school photo. I mean, if we're going back to early 2000s, that's what this reminds me of. I love the way they tackled this. And then, of course, EXILE cover on the front with our skull. So yeah, a little pretty cool OBI strip. I didn't even know bands would do that if it wasn't Japanese, but I actually really like the way they did this strip on the outside. We even have all of their albums, including the most recent, which was Songs of Death and Resurrection, which was kind of like those remix tracks, more acoustic, melodic focus with 2 new bonus tracks on there. So I really love the way they did this. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up for you guys. I'm trying to be careful not to scrape vinyl. Alright, here we go. So I didn't realize how much we were getting with this package, but we're getting quite a bit. So double vinyl on a beautiful, beautiful, I don't even know what you want to call this. This isn't teal, this isn't aqua, it's not lapis, it's not cerulean, but almost like a neon, almost like a, I don't even know what you want to call it. It's a gorgeous colored vinyl, and I really feel like the light doesn't even do it justice, but overall beautiful color. So this is kind of like a neon, almost like a neon turquoise mixed with maybe like navy mixed together, and of course part 2 is the same color. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous vinyl. So glad to have this in the collection finally. And of course, you know, we usually get something that comes with the vinyl as well. So what we have here is of course our liner notes. Comes on a big sheet, and the band on a really cool looking poster. This would also be really nice as well if you can manage to get this and frame it. So that's what comes with our vinyl. Really excited to have this in the mail finally. Can't wait to play this. This is one of those bands I'm always going to be faithful to. I've been listening to them for a very long time. I don't think they've ever really put out a bad record. I mean, there's a couple albums where I was like, okay, it didn't hit me the way they used to. What comes to mind is like True Defiance. I enjoyed True Defiance a lot. It was a fun album, and I think the closing song to the record is fantastic. But I feel like True Defiance was just that one record that just didn't hit me the way their other albums have hit me. But I've been listening to them for a long time. I'm glad they're still putting out records. I'm glad they're still, you know, touring a little bit when they can. And I love the way they do their packaging in the deluxe editions. Not a lot of bands really put this much time and effort into their deluxe editions, especially with the artwork, the posters, the bonus tracks. I mean, when's the last time I've bought a record that had bonus tracks on it? It's honestly, with the exception of Demon Hunter and a few others, it's been a long time since we've seen bonus tracks being delivered on an album. So, of course, that's Demon Hunter's Exile. I can't wait to play this on vinyl. The album itself is fantastic. I don't want to spoil it, but the ending track kind of reminds me of the ending track to War, because they have an 8-minute track at the very end, and it's perfect. It's a great album. I can't recommend it enough. I hope this band sticks around and plays for a very long time. They've given us years and years and years of wonderful music, and I hope they continue to do so. Ryan Clark, the Clark brothers. I know I know your brother doesn't play with you anymore, but all you guys in Demon Hunter, I hope you guys continue to play. Thank you so much for another fantastic album, especially this new song with Thomas England from Evergrey. Great collaboration. Again, thank you guys so much for this album. I hope you guys stick around and play for a long time. Keep up the good work. You're always going to have a dedicated fan like me listening to you guys. So that's it for today, you guys. Of course, unboxing of the new Demon Hunter record. We got the deluxe edition, we got the vinyl, we got the posters, we got the comic book, we got everything. The comic book comes in a 4-part series, and I think I have part 1 here. Can't wait to see what the rest of this band unfolds for us. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Take care of each other. If you're in Florida or if you're on the East Coast, Hurricane Nicole's on its way, so I hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you guys stay safe. Take care of each other. Make sure you prep and do your evacuation plans, which may or may not include a hurricane party. Just take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And best mental health to all you guys. I know we all need it. Cheers.